Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Thursday, August the 21st. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can use you can log in as a guest or use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. Let's take a look at the charts right now, and I actually want to bring in my little bounce 5-minute candles. Finally, I had some alerts. Not a lot. What is that? 6 alerts so far today. But at least I had some alerts today. Now, not that they worked. That's the problem. I'm going to go over the WR trade in a little bit, but at least I started getting some alerts, so that's encouraging. So the first trade that I did was Kindred Biosciences, and yesterday, actually, this happened in the post market, I guess, yesterday. You can see where it closed yesterday at around $13, $14, and it opened at a $10 range. And this all happened in the post market yesterday. And so it had the big collapse. I don't know if it's earnings or news or what the story was, but this is what happened. It hit a low of $9. And because of that, I had this on my daily watch list. This is a stock that I wanted to follow basically for a bounce. And you can see I don't have that many stocks on my daily watch list, but you're going to see that I did trade 2 of them. I actually could have traded DGLY, I believe, and DRL also, but they were a little bit harder to entries for me. But the Kin wasn't a bad entry. And so here is where it opened. So it tried to pop here, then it had the little pullback. These are 5-minute candles. It had a little bit of a pullback, and then as it started coming up, I took the trade at 10.25. And, I got out of it fairly early. It wasn't in this candle. I was hoping it would go further, but I got out of it at 10.40, the first half, right here. When it was starting to come down, held on to that second half for a while, and then it came up to this point, and that's at 1070. To be honest, I kind of blew this. I mean, I really, really should have had this out 1070 or 1060, but I allowed a bit of greed to get a hold of me, mainly because when you take a look at the gap it had to fill, here's at 14, I thought maybe it could get up to 11, but it didn't, and so I ended up selling on the way back down at 1045, but not a bad trade. I mean, 1025 to 1040 and 1025 to 1045. Not a bad trade for a $10 stock. And again, because I did my evening scan the night before, and I definitely knew I wanted to watch this one. Now, the next one, actually, let's just go to, let's go to this one, the JRJC. Let me just bring that one up. Now, of course, this one has been crazy, absolutely crazy. And so this candle is today. So today's Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So this is Monday's candle. Huge, 465 all the way up to 797. And I know that in the post market, when the market was closed on this day, it actually hit a high of $9. And so this is the next day got all the way up to 967, and then the sellers took over and drove it right down. This is yesterday. It looked like it was going to come down. But then the buyers took over and they drove it up here. So this is definitely a type of stock that I want to keep track of for the next day. You don't know what it's going to do. I don't think I can short this, but I wanted to see if I could go long on either a bounce or on a momentum play. So now let's forget about this this tail right there, the tail up there. I did not get into it up here. Watch the pullback. A lot of us were watching it in the room. I didn't see great entries up to this point, but here this got me a little bit interested, a little bit of a flag here, and then all of a sudden it just started to consolidate a little bit, and then on this candle here on the pop, I took the trade at 1076. Now I definitely got greedy on this one because I was looking for. I said to myself, I like to sell when I get a dollar, which would have been 776 or excuse me 1186. 1176. But as it started getting closer and closer to 12, I decided to hold on, and so I didn't sell it. And then all of a sudden, this action happened, and this was a result of Citron, which is they're usually referred to as the notorious short seller, and it's a newsletter, and they come out and they slam stocks, and they basically slam JRJC. I didn't actually see it. It was posted in the room that Citron um, had come out with a scathing report, and I don't know what it said, but obviously they don't like it. So generally, what happens when Citron, especially on a lower priced one, it does have an effect. Now, I'm still going to watch this tomorrow because I can guarantee that China Finance is going to come out and say, you know what, the Citron report is wrong, and now we'll get into a war of words. So I will continue to watch this one tomorrow. But it was definitely a beautiful trade. I just got a little bit greedy, and then I got killed. Well, I didn't get killed. Obviously, I sold for a profit still. But actually, this should have been 11. I made 60 cents in this, so I don't know why I put that there. But there we go. Well, it doesn't matter. So that was that one. Now here was the frustrating one, and this was WR. Now WR came from the bounce play. You can see at 36.62. So where's 36.62? Right here is when I had the alert, and you can see why. All these red candles down, 5-minute candles down. I love this action. Now the only thing is that this is 37.05 and down to 36.55. So even though it looks like a lot on the chart, it really wasn't that much. So I knew going into this that this would probably be more or less a scalp play for me, and because I thought even if I got in, it could probably get stalled in this area as it was approaching the whole number. So a little more than a scalp, but I didn't expect huge gains out of this. Well, let's see. What happened is I took the first trade. I actually traded this 3 times. The first trade I took at 36.67. So here's the bottom, and the bottom is only at 36.55. So a decent stop. And I waited for it to get over this candle, this red candle here. I waited for it to get over here, and I took the trade at on this candle, this green candle at 36.67. And let's see. I ended up getting out of this trade right here at 36.62. I don't have it marked. It was a little confusing, but the first time I got into this, I got out right here. I didn't want to hang around. I even said in the room, I didn't think it would be that dynamic, to be honest, because again, it wasn't a a huge gap to fill. This was borderline bounce play for me. The next one I did when I got back in, so it came back down and then it popped up. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take the trade here. And it moved up a little bit, and I actually ended up selling it right just for pennies. It just didn't look like it was going to do anything. Now, obviously, I should have held on a little bit more, but I think what happened is I got into this action here and it fell down to 36.63, and then it got back up here, and then it came back down again to my buy. I said, you know what, I don't want this. It was giving me too much. I had to watch it too closely, and I just didn't want to do that. I could have put an auto stop in, I guess, but I can't remember what the bid ask was doing. It might not have been doing too badly, but I just didn't want to do it anymore. Then on this action, a little bit later, I kept watching it, so I decided to get into the trade here at 36.72. Saw it pop up to 36.76. I mean, not a huge pop or anything like that. But then it started coming down again, and I exited for another loss at 36.67 right here on this candle right there. So traded it 3 times, 2 small losses and a break even. So kind of frustrating, and frustrating now because I see that it has popped up to 36.83. This is the sort of action right here, of course, that I was hoping for here or even here. But a lot of day trading is timing, and I just didn't get the timing. I had half a mind to take it when it broke up through here, but I just didn't feel like it. And plus, it's towards, for me anyway, it's towards in the last hour. I generally don't initiate new trades in the last hour. And just quickly, the last trade I actually posted in the room. I said I was going to ride this into the sunset, 37.32 at Hewlett Packard. It's one that it came in my custom HP 36.97. So it didn't pop too much from there, but it also came on my breakout at 36.16, my breakout 5-minute candle alert, 36.16. And it was at 9:40. Again, I usually like to wait 15 minutes for the market to settle a little bit. But here's where it happened, and I just didn't get into it. And I didn't see a good entry here. Sort of was going to be chasing it. Here I guess, an argument could be made. You could a bit some kind of an entry in here on the breakthrough here. And in fact, that's what this is my custom at 36.97. So that's what it was kind of telling me that, okay, get in here. I didn't do it. I didn't think that it would be very dynamic. But on this action, I decided that when it pulled back, and I thought, well, maybe during power hour it could just have a nice move. So I took the trade at 37.32. It moved up to 37.40, hoping it would go up to into the 50s, 60s. Didn't do that, and on this candle, I basically sold for break even, and that was it. Um, so an interesting day. Again, the beauty of always having a watch list. Two or three stocks that you really want to watch. I mean, I get alerts all day long in my various strategy windows, but sometimes, especially okay, I did get 6 alerts with my bounce play, but remember yesterday I had none, and the day before I had two, and the day before that I had two. So it's good to have a watch list of stocks that were doing something the day before to see if there's any sort of continuation, are they up or down, or are there any bounce plays within this. So that's why I do it, and today it worked out quite well for me. So that's it for today. Let me just bring back the cover page. Here's again the address to get into the room, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.